Hi everyone, my name is Denise Yezbak Moore. Today I'm going to be showing you two different parts. We're going to learn how to make ear wires, and we're going to finish off the ear wires with my potpourri earrings. These earrings feature pink dyed agate faceted 3mm round beads, this beautiful Mystic Moonstone rectangle. We will be using 20 gauge antique brass wire, 28 gauge antique brass wire. You will need a chasing hammer, a bench block, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters. We need 3 antique brass head pins and about 2 inches of fine link antique brass chain. You will also need a wine cork or something round with the same diameter, but a wine cork works perfect for this project. We are going to cut 7 inches of 20 gauge wire. I'm just kind of straightening my wire a little bit. I just run it through my fingernails. Okay, we're going to find the center. And we're going to cut it in half, and then we're going to bring it around and make sure they're equal. We're going to trim off that little end. Okay, we're going to set that piece down. Using our chain nose pliers, you're going to have this stick up a little bit. We're going to bend the wire back. And then using our round nose pliers, we are going to form a simple loop. So we're going to do the same thing on the second wire. We're leaving a little bit up. We're going to bend the wire down, grabbing our chain nose pliers, or round nose pliers, sorry. We're just going to move the wire back. Okay, so now we have 2 of the same length. So we're going to straighten these out. And you want to make sure whatever side your loop is rolled towards, that's the side we want both of them facing the same way. So we're going to flip it over. And we're going to create the round ones first. We're going to set it right in the center, and then we're just going to bend the wires down. And then I like to make a little bend back. So there they are, the same. And we're going to trim these ends a little bit. Okay, so both of our wires are exactly the same shape. So now, to harden the wire, we need to hammer it just a little bit. This will harden up the wire. So we're going to set that down. Then we're going to do the other side. And we're tapping it really lightly, just enough to harden that wire. And I like to come in with my round nose pliers and just close that loop. So there's our first one. Now we got to go to the second. And we're gently tapping or hardening the wire as we tap. We're going to flip it over. gently tapping, hardening the wire. Now we're going to get our round nose pliers, and we're just going to close that loop. So there they are. They're exactly the same, which is awesome. So let's make our second ear wire blank. This one's a little bit different. So we're doing the same thing. We're getting 7 inches of 20 gauge wire, and we got to find the center. And we're going to trim that. And then we're going to bring it down. And then we're just going to snip the ends. Then using our chain nose pliers, we're going to bend. And with our round nose pliers, we're going to roll the wire towards us and form our simple loop. Straightening out the wire here. Chain nose pliers, bend. Round nose pliers. We're just rolling the wire towards us. Now we're going to pick up our wires. We're going to make sure the loops are rolled, the way you rolled them are facing the same way. And we're going to put them side by side. Go down to right about the middle. And then using our chain nose pliers, making sure those are nice and straight. We're going to make a bend. Now we're going to pick up our wine cork, nice and straight. And then we're just going to bend down on one side, bend down on the other side. And then they have taken a little bit of a different shape. We're going to come back in with our bench block, and now we're going to hammer. Very lightly. Look at that. I'm just going to straighten out that wire a little bit. Make sure the loop is closed. Okay, so there's the first wire. Now we're using our chasing hammer. And we're just lightly tapping the wire. We want that wire to harden so it doesn't lose its shape. Okay, take that off of the bench block. We're going to check our loop. And then we're going to line it up. With our other one, making sure it's nice and straight. Little bit off on the length, so we're just going to take our wire cutters and we're going to trim that end. Okay, so here are earring blanks 2. This is earring blanks 1. We're going to cut 8 inches of 28 gauge wire. This is very thin wire. And we're going to pick up one of our earring blanks. when I make my coils, I like to leave a little tail. I hold it right here, and then we're going to wrap 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to push those down with our fingernail, flip it over, push that down, and then I just leave the tail on, and we're going to pick up a pink dyed agate 3mm. Find that little hole. We're going to string that down, and then we're going to wrap 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to press those wires together. Pick up another 3mm. Holding it right there. We're going to wrap it around 1, 2, 3. And then we're just squishing it together as we go. Gonna hold it there. Wrap it around. 1, 2, 3. Squish it up with our nails. Wrap it around. 1, 2, 3. Make sure those wires are nice and tight. Move that up a little bit. I'm gonna wrap 1, 2, 3. Gonna string our bead. Let's push this up a little bit. We're gonna wrap 1, 2, 3. We're pushing them together as we go. String the 3mm agate. We're going to move that up just a little bit. We're going to wrap 1, 2. Look at them. Using our wire cutters. We're going to trim that little end. Trim that little end. Using our chain nose pliers, we're just going to tap it down. And tap that wire down. We're now going to form our wrapped loops. So we're going to use a head pin, and we're going to string our Moonstone rectangle. Using our round nose pliers, we're going to bend the wire back, move the pliers up, bend the wire towards you, turn the pliers to the side, bend the wire back, and then we're going to line it up. And we're going to wrap 1, 2, 3. We're going to cut that end off. tap it down and straighten out our loop. So we're going to get another head pin, and we're going to string the pink dyed agate 3mm, and we're going to form a partial loop. We're going to bend the wire back, move the pliers up, bend the wire towards you, move the pliers to the side, and then we're going to bend the wire back. And we're going to cut, this is an eight link chain. So there's eight links. So we're going to string that through. And then we're going to form a wrapped loop. 1, 2. And we're going to cut this wire. We're going to flatten out our loop. Tap the wire down. Okay, now we're going to do our last wrapped loop. We're going to string the agate, bend the wire back, turn the pliers up, bend the wire towards you, turn the pliers to the side, bend the wire back, let's line it up. And now we're using a 6-inch, or I'm sorry, 6-link small link chain. And we're going to string that. And we're going to put our round nose pliers right there. And we are going to wrap 1, 2. Take that off, trim that wire. We're going to flatten out our loop. Okay, now we're going to connect our dangles to the earring. So we're going to open the loop. You open the loop just like a jump ring. And we're going to attach the moonstone, and then the 8-link chain, and then the 6-link chain, and then we're going to close that loop. So we can look at our little, okay, there you have it. How to form ear wire blanks, and also how to create my potpourri earrings.